Yeah, Frank has quite the history.
Frank's character.
You said we may be on, guys, just so you know.
What was that?
Maybe on live, so you know.
Streaming?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to roll, Joe.
Because we lost. Yeah.
All right, we're ready to roll,
Are you
Joe.
hearing something?
What?
Because we
Check.
lost. Yeah.
I'm just hearing a bunch of stuff.
You hear something?
All right, we're ready to roll,
Are you
Joe.
hearing something?
What?
Because we
Check.
lost. Yeah.
I'm just hearing a bunch of stuff. I have no idea.
You hear something?
All right, we're ready to roll,
Are you
Joe.
hearing something?
It's on a loop too.
Yeah,
It's you guys.
it's on a loop.
It's
though.
on a
Just
loop.
hearing
It's not
a
what we're
bunch
saying
of
right now.
stuff. I have no idea.
You hear something?
All right, we're ready to roll,
Are you
Joe.
hearing something?
It's on a loop too.
Yeah,
It's you guys.
it's on a loop.
It's
though.
on a
Just
loop.
hearing
It's not
a
what we're
bunch
saying
of
right now.
stuff. I have no idea.
You hear something?
All right, we're ready to roll,
Are you
Joe.
hearing something?
It's on a loop too.
Yeah,
It's you guys.
it's on a loop.
It's
though.
on a
Just
loop.
hearing
It's not
a
what we're
bunch
saying
of
right now.
stuff. I have no idea. All right, hey, we're back, and we have Mr. Joe Piazza. Joe, welcome. New, nice shirt, man.
Thanks. How you
It's
doing,
been a
man?
while.
Yeah,
been
it's been
good.
Probably a month or so.
It's been a while, yes. And so, man, there has been a lot of crazy things going on.
There's been a lot of
since
baseball
we got-
happening.
You know, number one, I was impressed with Aaron Judge.
That's where I was going to start.
Holy
Yeah.
cow! I mean, how can you not start with him?
Well,
and
he's leading the league in home runs.
he hit that home run last night in Seattle. That they're saying that
Just kept going.
Statcast cannot stat it because it was too hot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a buddy who was there with his mom, who's Scott Brocious' sister and nephew,
Okay.
and they were telling me about the home run, about how it would have gone out of the stadium if it wasn't so hot.
Jeez. Yeah, he. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's leading the league in home runs. He has the most wins above replacement across the game. 5.4 wins. We're a week after the All-Star break.
And he's a rookie.
He's a rookie looking at a 10-win season. So
Unreal.
I am rarely one to think of a Rookie of the Year and MVP happening at the same time, but he looks like he's going to be the third one to do it.
Here's the deal with Judge. So he's hitting what
313.
313. Okay, that's not going to continue. He's striking out way too much.
He's striking out almost 30%.
He's striking out way too much. So for him to be a 300 hitter at the end of the season, I don't see that.
There's another reason for that, and nobody is talking about it right now, but his home-away splits are ridiculous. At home, he bats 377,
Holy cow.
and on the road, he's batting 260.
Okay.
So that's a more average.
So how many more
Play.
games at home do the Yankees have? That's the question.
Well, and it's just a matter of when is it going to catch up to him.
You
That's
know,
the thing, because you play 81 and 81.
Yep.
It's an even split.
nevertheless,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's doing crazy things.
Rookie of the Year, possible MVP, possible.
I think he has.
You
it.
know, his
this
name has
point.
got to be. His name is in the hat.
Unless something crazy happens, we're probably looking at Aaron Judge joining that team of MVP Rookie of the Years, because the only other person that's even close, really, Mookie Betts. You could make a case for Altuve. You could make a case for Correa, George Springer, a couple of those aspects.
Correa's out now.
Right.
For a while.
So he's gone. So that's
What,
12,
4 weeks,
12,
I think?
4 to 12, 4 to 8, something like that.
Something like that. He's out for a while.
So he's gone. But that's what I'm saying. Trout missed a lot of time.
Yeah.
So Trout's out of the argument.
Yeah.
You're looking at an Aaron Judge year. I think this is the year of Aaron Judge, which, as someone that is just very anti-Yankees, it hurts me to say, but you got to give credit where it's due. This guy's killing it.
I was talking to my buddy Joe Migloretto last week, and he's a huge Yankee honk. And we were talking about Alex Rodriguez 5-6 years ago, to where, you know, if the Yankees were on TV and you were watching TV, you know, you would always go to the Alex Rodriguez at bats.
Sure.
That's where Aaron Judge is for me right now.
Okay.
If he's on, I have to watch
You have to
his
see
at
his
bats. You know, years ago there was a guy named Jack Cust. I don't know if you
I
remember,
remember
Jack.
Cust. Yeah, with the
Jack-
A's and the Mariners.
Diamondbacks as well. And when he was in AAA, when they'd come to Portland, you know, there was always talk about people would pay to watch Jack Cust take batting practice.
They thought he was going to be the man.
He never. I mean, I think he had 32 home runs one year, 33 home runs. He had a couple
one or
of
two
good years,
good power years,
but it never
didn't do much
panned
else,
out.
yeah.
Right. But Jack Cust. I mean, this is Aaron Judge.
No, he's
You know?
he's a monster. He's got,
My buddy John Davis stands about 6'4",
Mhm.
and he said that by looking, he met him in the tunnel. He was talking to his uncle Scott, and met him in the tunnel, and he said that he towered
Mhm.
over him.
He's got 3 inches on him.
And then, well, not only that, he's just a big guy.
Yeah.
And so, what else we got happening stat wise?
So I guess along with that, so you got kind of Judge leading the way. Cody Bellinger, another rookie, he's in the NL. He's kind of going the Corey Seager route. I mean, the Dodgers, man. The Dodgers don't
They're on
know.
a tear.
They are on a tear. They have a 66-31 record, and they're 9.5 games over second place Arizona, who's still 20 games over 500.
So let me ask you a question about the Dodgers.
Okay.
So as hot as they've been,
Mhm.
okay, I mean, they're still pretty much Kershaw, maybe Rich Hill because of that curveball.
Sure.
But then,
Alex Wood.
but he got lit up last night.
Yeah, but that was one start.
You know,
He's been untouchable this season.
can the Dodgers keep up? I don't think they could keep the pace that they're at now, but I mean, can we pencil them in for National League West division winners right now?
I want to say yes because of how the Dodgers have set up their team. They look like, the way I see it, the Dodgers have set up their team in a way that they are. You could simulate it through a computer,
Right.
and they would have this record
Right.
because injuries happen, things happen. They are so deep. They are so deep. When someone gets hurt, they got another guy to call up. They got another top prospect. They got a Cuban star. They got somebody to pull up anytime they want. They are set. They're set up in a way that, on average, it's going to work out great for them.
Right.
If something else happens, if the Diamondbacks do something crazy, or the Rockies do something crazy, and they start to slump just enough, maybe it's Arizona's division. Maybe it's the Rockies division. I can't say for sure it's the Dodgers, but they have nearly a 10-game lead right now.
Here's what I
So-
see with the Dodgers. I see, and we have talked about the Giants, winning titles 2010, 12, 14. And whatever it was, the Giants had that clubhouse,
Sure, it was a clubhouse thing for sure.
clubhouse present. And I've always said that if the Dodgers get that part of the game, we're in trouble.
Okay.
I think the Dodgers have it.
In
In the clubhouse. I just think whatever they're doing
Mhm.
is working. Whether it starts at Dave Roberts, who I think
manager of the year.
absolutely is he's the right man for the job.
Yeah.
It starts there, and then it works its way down. You got Kershaw, Bellinger coming up.
Bellinger, Utley has that. I mean,
Utley's got
Utley's not putting
huge,
up stats, but his presence
is huge.
His presence is intangible.
And
in my
I
opinion.
think whatever it is, the Dodgers have it now.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say that you can write the Dodgers in for National League West division champs. Not to jinx them or anything. My Giants, dude, you could put a fork in them, they're done.
You Giants,
They're pretty much done.
they're going to
and-
hold on to Posey, Crawford, and
Bumgarner.
Yeah. The rest, who
Yeah.
knows?
It's going to be fair game. And so, standings wise, I mean, holy cow, you've got
Hey, now we can talk about that AL East, which forever was Yankee Town.
Yep.
And now the All-Star break has come to a turn. I know for a long time you were telling me you knew the Yankees were going to do it, but now they're second place in the division.
3.5 tied with Tampa Bay of all
Tampa
teams.
Bay of all people. Corey Dickerson and Steven Souza. Yeah, the Rays are doing it, but you got the Red Sox leading the AL East. That's going to be a fun division to watch for the rest of the season. Them and the Yankees, we're looking at classic Yankees stuff.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
looking at classic Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Aaron Judge, you got Mookie Betts, you got Pedroia, Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
And if you look at a trade that just happened, last week the Red Sox were on the verge of acquiring Todd Frazier, David Robertson from the White Sox.
Yep.
They were this close. It was about to be announced.
But the Yankees flipped.
And then the Yankees came in and took those two and Tommy Canley, another 100-mile-an-hour reliever, took them right from under the Red Sox wing.
Right.
This is like classic 2004.
Yes.
This is like A-Rod going to the Yankees.
It's going to be exciting to watch.
Johnny Damon leaving. I mean, that's what we're looking at now. Is that rivalry is back.
Unfortunately, I don't see Tampa Bay going anywhere right now. They're hanging in. You know, I mean, what can you see about Tampa?
Probably going to the Yankees.
Besides how they got there.
They've had some surprise performances. Like I said, Corey Dickerson is in the top 10 for wins above replacement this year. You got Steven Souza hitting the ball pretty hard. Longoria is kind of that leader on the team, and then the pitching has always been a solid aspect of Tampa Bay's whole team setup. Kind of going from there, we're pretty much in trade season now.
We are. Yeah,
so
for the next week.
Rumors are flying. The biggest one that's been going around is talk of Stanton leaving Miami.
And I
don't think it's going to happen.
What are you hearing? I'm hearing the Phillies.
Yep.
I'm hearing the possibility of the Giants. There's a couple of things.
I didn't see the Giants. I don't think the Giants want to do that because they don't have the ballpark for it.
But
he's the kind of guy.
It's a big bat, man.
He's the kind of guy that isn't as strong in a park like that. He's still a big masher, but it's not the right ballpark. I don't think he fits on the team very well in San Francisco. The big talk they had was Christian Yelich and Stanton going to the Phillies.
Which you're excited about.
I would be excited. I want Yelich more than I want Stanton, I'll be honest.
Right.
Stanton's contract is a huge, huge concern to me. And you look at Manny Machado and Harper going to be free agents in a year. I would rather go after one of those guys than Stanton because of his makeup. Because Stanton's a bigger guy, he's more likely to get hurt just because of his build. He's less of an all-around player. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. His power is insane. He's putting it together right now. He's got 30 home runs, but he's not that same athletic guy of Manny Machado who can play shortstop or third base. Harper, who is still 25.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on, but it'd be cool to see. They're talking about D. Gordon maybe going to Philly. I don't know. The Marlins are kind of. They're trying to sell off everybody because they're also trying to sell the team.
Right.
So I think they tried to sell it off with all those contracts. So and people weren't buying.
Let's talk about that American League West.
The AL West.
So Houston, 17 games up.
That's the only team to talk about
in
the AL West.
But I want to throw out the Angels because at the beginning of the year, I said the Angels were a team to look out for. Whether they're a playoff team, I wasn't 100% sure.
Team, maybe.
But here they sit, 18 games out. They're a game back of Seattle at 47-51.
Right. They're 4 games under 500.
I honestly believe the Rangers are going to get hot.
And you think the Rangers are
going to start moving up?
Well, they're talking about trading Yu Darvish or Cole Hamels.
Yeah. See, that's the beauty of it. This is the best.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I know. Yeah. And then when it does, you're surprised. Even
just
though
go
you've been
with it, whatever it is, yeah.
So what has been, so since we've last talked, what has been the biggest thing that you have seen? I mean, whether it's a team's record or, Aaron Judge, maybe that was it.
I think Judge winning the home run derby is probably the big one to me.
The way he won it.
He was so effortless in the way that he won. And in the most complimentary way possible. He was just flicking his wrists, and they were flying out of the ballpark.
Right.
Everyone that matched up with him could not hit enough home runs to knock him out. Yeah. That was crazy.
It was pretty impressive.
This is a rookie. That's freaking me out, honestly.
And Miguel Sano
had
his coming out party.
He's putting it together now. He's really doing what they said he would in the minors. The Twins guy. He was the highly touted prospect. It was him and Byron Buxton. And And Sano's really putting it together. Had an all-star season so far. He's, he did good in that home run derby. He's a character. I like the guy.
He is.
The Twins have also kind of been surprisingly not awful, I guess is the way to put it.
They're above 500.
Right. And they're kind of one of those teams that was a decent team when Torrey Hunter was on the team a couple years ago, and then he retired, and everything just kind of went in the trash bin for a while. They had an awful season. Kind of looking around, the Braves was another big. Here was a big thing to me was the Braves lost Freddie Freeman.
Yes.
And then they picked up Matt Adams, and they got so comfortable with Matt Adams that Freddie Freeman switched positions.
Third base.
He's a third baseman.
And he's turned it up now.
You know how valuable he is as a third baseman? That's crazy.
Freddie
And
Freeman.
the fact that he just picked it up and went over there, coming back from an injury.
Before it's all said and done, I think Freddie Freeman wins Most Valuable Player award too.
I think he'll get one or two of them.
He's a great ball player, and he does it under the radar for the most part.
He's that 310, 30 home run, 100 RBI guy, 400 on base. Who
does Freddie Freeman kind of remind you of in that aspect?
He's kind of got that Donnie Baseball.
Dale Murphy.
But Dale Murphy was not a third baseman.
Well,
you're talking about a catcher.
But but we're also talking
the
about
offensive profile.
the offensive profile.
Someone
on
that
how
went under the radar.
Exactly.
Another one would maybe be with a little less power. He's kind of like Carlos Delgado, too,
Yeah.
who completely went under the radar. He, I think, deserves Hall of Fame consideration because his name was clean through all of that, and people just kind of swept him to the side.
I think I could agree with you on that one.
But he seems like one of those guys that his power might spike in a year or two. He might hit 45 home runs, 42 home runs, and I think he'll take an MVP or two as a third baseman.
As a third baseman.
That's the most reverse thing most people start out as a third baseman.
Right. And go
Head
to
to
first
the
base.
outfield, and then they get sent to first base
Yep.
when it's all said and done. Adam Dunn, those kinds of guys. Hanley is the other one that did that. The Tigers are starting to sell off. That's the other thing.
Yep. All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Cool.
And so once again, Mr. Joe Piazza, and I'm Norm. We got Brian over here as well, and we are sponsored by Baseballism. We are here in the Baseballism store at the store today, doing a live show. We're also sponsored by Base by Pros, Mitch Canham, basebypros.com. Mark Canham, his dad, does our Clubhouse Chatter shirts that Brian is wearing today. And we will be back shortly with the one and only Portland's own Frank Peters.